Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan, and on this video I'll be showcasing the best cities for a WNBA expansion. Watch until the end to find out. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new, and let's get into the video. Currently there are a total of 12 teams in the WNBA. Shortly before the 2022 WNBA season began, the Las Vegas Aces waived number 8 overall pick from this year's draft, while the Minnesota Lynx cut ties with Crystal Dangerfield, the 2020 Rookie of the Year. Both of these players were victims of the league's brutal roster crunch, which has gotten even worse in recent years due to CBA changes and improved talent pool. In the spring, the issue has seemingly come to a head, with everyone from fans to star players calling for changes. In the WNBA, there are only 144 roster spots available in the league, 12 spots on each of the 12 teams. But due to salary cap concerns, many teams only carry 11 players, making it even more difficult to earn a place, and I absolutely think that this needs to change. The WNBA commissioner is in favor of adding new franchises to the league, especially 2 new expansion teams in the next few years, though no exact timeline has been detailed. At number 9, Des Moines, Iowa. The state of Iowa definitely isn't the first place that comes to mind when you're thinking about professional sports. Overall, that makes a lot of sense because, well, the state of Iowa doesn't have a single major professional sports team. The city does host several minor league sports teams in several sports: baseball, hockey, basketball, indoor football, and soccer. However, the state finds itself in the middle of one of the country's most popular college basketball conferences. And the University of Iowa has fared well in both the men's and the women's college basketball worlds in years past. Why wouldn't the WNBA want to take advantage of that and make history by bringing a team to the city? There's a lot of room to bring multiple teams the league wants to at the next league expansion. So the WNBA could easily bring back a few of its former franchises as a throwback, while still adding something fresh to the league by adding a brand new franchise to this city. At number 8, Miami, Florida. Miami is also a location that once housed a WNBA franchise in the early stages of the league's existence. The Miami Soul lasted a brief 3 seasons, from 2000 to 2002, before folding due to their inability to raise enough funds to continue operation under the WNBA's new restructuring agreement. In the 3 seasons they existed, they only made the playoffs once in the 2001 season. The Soul played their games at American Airlines Arena, home of the Miami Heat. The city of Miami is a tourist hotbed that could be a revenue for the WNBA to reach locals and people who vacation there throughout the year. Living in the South Beach has always held appeal for players throughout other leagues, so surely WNBA players would definitely enjoy it as well. How could you not enjoy the sunshine and beaches year-round? At number 7, Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is another city that previously was home to a WNBA team, naming the Charlotte Stain. They were one of the league's 8 original teams in the late 1990s, lasting until January 3rd, 2007, when the franchise folded due to an overall loss of revenue. The Stain were the first team to play in a WNBA Finals and ended up folding. Fans know how rich the history of basketball is in North Carolina, and that hasn't diminished. One thing that could help make a WNBA team work this time around is having the NBA's Charlotte Hornets partner with the franchise. Michael Jordan's presence instantly makes the city more interesting from a basketball presence, and his Hornets in the NBA are loaded up with young talent currently. The only team that represents the WNBA in the southeastern part of the United States is the Atlanta Dream. By adding a team in Charlotte, that could give the Dream a rival to make things more interesting for that market. At number 6, Houston, Texas. Houston is another city that was home to a previous WNBA franchise, naming the Houston Comets. The Comets were one of the original 8 WNBA teams. Not too long ago, after the Houston Rockets won back-to-back NBA championships in 1994 and 1995, the Comets kept Houston's status as clutch city, going by winning the first 4 WNBA championships from 1997 to 2000, establishing the league's first dynasty. There are only 2 WNBA teams that are undefeated in the WNBA Finals, but the Seattle Storm are the other. However, the Storm are still around. The team folded in 2008 during the height of the Great Recession because new ownership could not be found. They're one of 3 franchises with 4 titles to their name, but their active counterparts, the Minnesota Lynx and the Seattle Storm, have the chance to add to their respective totals. Since the Las Vegas Aces took over the San Antonio Stars spot in the league, fans in the league have been asking for another team in Texas to contend with the Dallas Wings. How cool would it be if the Comets make a comeback in the next WNBA expansion, and I think by adding a WNBA team to Houston could do wonders in the city. At number 5, Portland, Oregon. Portland is another city that previously was home to a WNBA franchise, naming the Portland Fire. Both the Seattle Storm and the Portland Fire were introduced to the WNBA in 2000, but the 2 franchises could not have been more opposite after that. The Storm have lasted in the league for more than 2 decades, bringing 4 titles to their home city. Meanwhile, the Portland Fire folded in 2002, lasting just 3 seasons in the league. They recorded just 37 wins in their brief history and were the lone WNBA team to never qualify for the playoffs. The rivalry between Seattle and Portland would be huge for the WNBA. If there was ever a time to strike and add a team in Portland, it's in the next expansion. At number 4, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia is a loyal sports town and should rank right near the top. The city is the 4th largest media market in the country, and it is the biggest remaining market that doesn't have a WNBA franchise yet. Bringing a WNBA franchise to the city would be an excellent move. Although Philly is already crowded with numerous major sports teams such as the Philadelphia 76ers, the Eagles, the Phillies, the Flyers, the Union, and the Wings. The idea of adding another sports team for fans to support has generated some excitement on social media. Philly is limited on women's professional sports, but it is a basketball-rich city. The city didn't have a women's professional basketball team named the Rage that play in the American Basketball League. That franchise existed for just 2.5 seasons, 1996 to 1997 in Richmond, Virginia, 1997-1998, and late in 1998 in Philadelphia. By adding a team in Philadelphia would bridge the gap between the Washington Mystics, New York Liberty, and the Connecticut Sun. The league should highly consider Philadelphia as a possible destination for an expansion team in the future. At number 3, Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville for years has continued to grow both as a tourist destination and a popular city to live in. If the league is interested in tapping into a market in a part of the country where they haven't had a team, this would be a perfect opportunity. Tennessee basketball fans know the history that resides in the state, most notably at the college level. There is no doubt that the Nashville area would have an interest in a women's basketball team. The biggest problem is a lack of an NBA partner team with existing facilities. The city of Nashville has 3 professional sports teams, naming the Tennessee Titans from the NFL, the Nashville Predators from the NHL, and the Nashville SC from MLS. Given the interest in those 3 teams, a new WNBA franchise in the Nashville area could work out well. At number 2, Toronto, Canada. In the mid-1990s, the NBA experimented with teams in Canada, adding the Vancouver Grizzlies and the Toronto Raptors. Currently, Toronto is the only city in Canada with a NBA franchise. If the WNBA is really interested in growing the game outside of the country, Toronto would be a perfect location. There is certainly interest from Toronto, with rumors swirling as recently as 2019 about their potential inclusion. By being the only city in Canada with a NBA franchise, and that would be a nice counterpart for a WNBA expansion team. The WNBA is also flooded with Canadian players, and that means there's already a fan base for women's basketball. As far as cities outside the United States, Toronto should absolutely be on this list, and it sounds like there is interest on both sides of the table. At number 1, San Francisco, California. The Bay Area has become a popular basketball spot over the last decade, mainly thanks to the success of the Golden State Warriors. With the WNBA looking to expand, it's not surprising to see cities like Oakland and San Francisco pop up as potential destinations. The Bay Area has a strong presence of basketball fans and teams, from college ball to the Golden State Warriors. It's also in proximity to several current West Coast WNBA teams. All these factors make this a prime destination for the Nets expansion. San Francisco Bay Area is one of the biggest markets in the country without a WNBA franchise, making this a prime candidate. With so many resources in the region and so many big names to help promote the team, the Bay Area is one of the best options for the WNBA currently. Which two cities should get the Nets WNBA expansion teams? Join me in the comment section down below and tell me what you guys think. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit the notification bell to be notified of all new videos in the future. Make sure you share this video with friends and family. Please get this video out there. My name is Nathan. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to just keep loving sports, and I'll see you next time.